in bed, I'm laying on my back, and I feel Darlene place her hand on my stomach. And she said, "I love you." And of course, I said, "Lower." And she said, "I love you." Those are absolutely true stories. And one more true story is that, Darlene, I would be nobody without you. Oh God. I can't believe it. Just a second. Jesus Christ. You're my support system, my logic, my decision maker, and the gigantic pain in the ass, all in one. And I love you infinitely. I'd like you all to stand and toast the one and only Darlene Jones. To Darlene Jones.
Nice, Mark.
Well, friend, do you know what happened? There are no photographs of the wedding. Jonesy did like he always does. He hired a bloody NDPer and he wobbled the job. We'll never see the guy since. That's what happened, friend. I'm sorry to say this, but I do. That's why there's no photos of the wedding. And I was scared. I was shaking to be heck. This guy's about 17 years old. He's got no job, no money, nowhere to go, and he's got this wife. And the father-in-law, Herman the German, is standing at the door. And he's got the worst bloody shot. He couldn't shoot anything. I took him deer hunting once, and he damn near shot me. So I wondered why I was shaking. Anyway, I'm going to be really brief, and maybe Fran will have a couple of words to say. But what I want to say is that the Joneses, Carrie and Darlene, the reason that we're all here as family isn't by coincidence. And we don't have to be here. We're here because we want to be here. Because whenever there was need in the family for support, you know, like guys like Bob and I, we were more interested in making money and doing business. The Joneses were there for the family. Not only their family, our family. And that, I think, is remarkable. It's something that should be thankful. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to say a few words? Well, I didn't mean to attack you in politics, but because I do like you. I sort of like your husband, too. But they're different. The National Disaster Party. Anyway, let's all rise again. I propose a toast to the bride and groom. The bride and the groom. Thanks again, folks. We love you. Thanks for showing up. The rented crowd and all.
Just one thing, I guess, you know, Uncle Jerry just alluded to it. We are a close family. He was in mortal danger.
Terry banged on the door, and together we hung on to each other tightly. And he banged on the door, and he said, "Who's suffering in there?"
And my dad opened the door and said, "I
We turned around and walked back down the hallway, and Terry tucked me back in bed and went to his room.
Shortly thereafter, they built a bedroom downstairs.
But it built a real bond bond between Terry and I.
True story. We've learned a lot from our parents, and one of the things is growing up with as the children of a social worker, where your father brings home kids who are just less fortunate. They're in foster care and they have nowhere to go, and they come into your home, and you feel such compassion for them, even as young people. I think it's something that we learned from our parents.
And Mom and Dad's generosity and compassion didn't just go, it went beyond social work and all those other things, and went into the community, and Dad did coaching, and Mom was always there to, she took me on many, many, many ball trips, and we had lots of fun, and she was in golfing, curling, and lots of different things.
It's interesting when I see our family, when I see my mom and dad amongst all of you. It's funny because I know my boys have said the same thing about me. When you're in amongst your friends, especially your old friends and friends that you haven't seen in a while, you just, it's like you become vibrant, you become more vibrant, and you become more alive. And so with all of you here tonight, it's really cool to see the Nelson guys and the old chunks from Winnipeg and old family members. It's just great. It's an amazing thing. And those relationships that they've created with their friends and why they're here tonight is a real testament to what they're about.
I can remember times when Townsy would come over to the house, and Dad and him would have major competitive ping pong tournaments. But Brian would always want to tell us stories about growing up, and Dad would always say, "You can't tell them that." It always seemed to end with Smitty going to jail, or almost going to jail.
Shane hasn't heard that yet, though. You should. Also, the kinship that my dad has with his brother, like every time they get together, it is like a comedy hour. And the stories that come out of these two guys about how Dad had it so hard and Uncle George had it even harder. So we just like to ask Uncle George to come up and tell a quick story, a very quick story. Come on up.
They asked me to tell a few stories, and I was trying to think of something where Terry wasn't crying all the time. I mean, I didn't want his grandchildren to know what a little sucky boy he was. But I do have a few stories. We used to sleep in the same room, and he'd be in the top bunk, and he'd say, "George, I gotta go to the bathroom." And I'd say, "Okay, but don't step on the snakes." Well, I'm happy to say I helped him develop his kidneys. He could go 3 days. Then there was times when I taught him how to play hockey. I had made the nets, and we just had the old coal thing, the coal mesh for bags and that, and I carried over to Alexander Street for the Western boys. And I'd say to them, "If anybody scores, you're gonna pay." So it'd be like me against three, and eventually they'd get a goal, and then I'd whack the hell out of their shins. Once again, crying. "Help out the Mom!" God, he was an awful baby. Then just one more story. No rebuttal. Then there was a time when my buddy Hutch had a car and we had wired the passenger seat. So me and Nosy were in the back seat and we're driving around and there's Terry. Hey Terry, you want to ride? Whoa. You know, he's just a kid. Yeah, you Christ, he wants a ride. You get him in the front seat and here, have a smoke. He was 17. But you know, he thinks he's pretty cool. He's got his arm out. Boy, if Dad had seen him. Anyway, now you know what happens. He gets his ass burned. And he's trying to get out of the car. Eventually we let him out. He never did catch on. Why is the passenger seat empty? Anyway, I noticed he was up here crying again, so I'll end with that.
We've really practiced this.
Yeah. Twice.
My dad said, when I told him I was going to do a song, he said, I bet you're going to do the piano, man. So, yeah, we're doing the piano. Can I start again? The story began in '65 when they married at City Hall. Jerry and friends standing up with them, no pictures to prove this at all. Soon after marriage came a son to love. Terry born 3 months premature. Healthy and strong, it didn't take long before Tracy would join Sweet and Pure. This family, they would move far away. From Winnipeg, they would travel far. With a baby and crying and a toddler that was trying, chasing dreams and reaching for stars. 2 years they called home Connecticut, but a trade would move them again. So they packed up the car and headed afar to a place in the Coots called Nelson. La-di-da-di-di-da, la-di-da-di-di-da. Tell us a joke or a story, man. Darlene is back with a smile. Even though we have heard it a million times, we're all gonna laugh for a while. Now Terry had growing up to do. Darlene didn't take any shit. To school he would go, but the pool hall would know that he would be there soon for a bit. From Nelson, the family moved on the trail. Terry's social work career would begin. At Tech and at home, Dar worked double time to make sure that 5 o'clock dinner would be in. Now the trail was a big thing. Dad was coaching hockey and baseball. Better make sure you never lay on the ice, or you won't be playing at all. It's 9 o'clock on a Thursday morn. Terry, the cleansing life by chance. Soup and lemon juice and a big sneeze. And big Terry just shit his pants. La-di-da-di-da. La-da-di-da. Tonight at the Trail River Bell, it's 50 years that we celebrate. Family and friends from near and far, more memories we will create. Now Gramps has a way of saying things, we're not really sure what she said,
But that bitch from Grand Forks better watch herself. She's gassed up and she'll knock her dead. 9 o'clock at the border crossing. Grandpa's playing Jesus Sleep. There's a battle of brewing with Richard Regard. And Grandpa's playing for keeps. Now we're all at the pool, it's a Friday night. Kids are gone, the back gate is shut. It's about time for some hearts of dominoes. I'm sure Dar will call someone a slut. Now it's Grandpa's turn at the border cross. Kids purchased way too much wine. The border guard said, don't care if you love red. Drink it, pour it, or pay the fine. School was seconds from their place. There we were waiting for a snack. Apples and cheese were the treats that would please, and Grandma always had our back. Oh, la-di-da-di-da, la-da-di-da. Tell us a joke or a story, man. Dar just sits back with a smile. Even though we have heard it a million times, we're all gonna laugh for a while. It's a packed backyard on a Saturday. Mom and Dad are putting on a show. Because they know together they've created this. And everyone here loves it so.
Just 1 second, please. Back in June 1965, we wrote a song for some special friends, Terry and Darlene Jones in Winnipeg, and it goes something like this.
They say we're young and we don't know, won't grow up till we grow.
Well, I don't know if all that's true, but you got me and baby, I got you. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
They say our love won't pay rent before it's served. Our point is always spent.
I guess that's so we don't have a pot, but at least I'm sure of all the things we got. Babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got flowers in the spring. I got you to wear my ring.
And when I'm sad, you're a clown. And when I'm scared, you're always around. I don't care if you like him or wrong.
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you to hold my hand.
I got you to understand.
I got you to walk with me